Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Monie's Podcast. I am your host, Monie, and I'm excited about today's episode. This is a space where we talk about life, mental health, singleness, workplace politics, friendships, relationships, and of course, everything in between. This week, we're diving into the world of independent music and the unstoppable rise of unsigned talent. My guest today is none other than T Morza, an insanely gifted rapper, singer, engineer, songwriter, coming straight out of Toronto. His sound is raw, authentic, and magnetic. He's not just making noise, he's building a movement. And guess what? He also happens to be my cousin. Just had to get that in there. So let's get into it. The grind, the growth, and the greatness that's on the way. Please help me welcome my guest, T Morza.
Hey, what's up? Nice to be here. And yes, we are related. But it just means that it's all love, you know? And yeah, happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so, as he said, we are excited to be here, and we're going to talk a lot about his music. We're going to talk a lot about what he's working on, how it started, what's next to come, So let's first dive into the name, T Morza, because when you decided to get real serious about the music and you said, that's my artist name, I thought about it, and I was like, T Morza, that's interesting. Tell us a little bit about the name and what made you decide on that name as an artist.
Yeah, I get this a lot. It's a little out there, I know, but it means Heavenly Sovereign Prince in 2 languages. And I just wanted something like very different that still represented me. So like, as you know, my last name is Prince, right? And you know how many princes are out there? There's like 30,000 princes. I'm trying to set myself apart. Yeah. So like it means Heavenly Sovereign Prince in 2 languages. The Tenno part, which is the T for T Morza, that means Heavenly Sovereign in Japanese. And then the Morza means a princely figure in the Turkish language. So I thought, nah, man, nobody's gonna have a name like that ever again. So like I had to take it before, you know?
So unique. That is really, really different because Prince definitely in the family, and I like how you incorporate that in your name.
Yeah.
In the different languages. That had to be a thing. So really, really love that. Let's talk about your music and your journey. Take us back to the beginning. When did music first become part of your life?
Ever since I was a kid, to be honest. As soon as my mom heard me sing a little bit, she was like, nah, man, you gotta dash him in the choir, dash him in church, dash him in school singing programs. And that's literally how I got my start. I started singing in church, and I started being part of like extracurricular school activities revolving around music. And that just kind of built up my love for it over the years. And as I grew up, I became more and more serious. So I started from a youth. Yeah.
I can attest to that. We always heard Christian singing just growing up. And I think the first time I knew you could sing was when I was by your house one time and you were just singing a song, just regular, just singing. And I stopped what I was doing. I can't remember what song it was. I don't know if it was Bruno Mars. It was way back.
Singing a lot of
Bruno. It was a Bruno Mars song. Yeah, it was definitely a Bruno Mars song. And I remember when you were singing the song, I was just like, wait, hold on a little bit. Christian can sing. Sorry, I just kind of let your gov out there a while ago, but that's the name that we know you as family.
Family, you know what I'm saying?
And I said, he can really sing. And I remember going to your mom, I said, hey, you know that he can sing? She's like, of course, I learn singing all the time. He sings in the shower, he sings while he's doing his chores. And that made me just realize that you had a raw talent. What drew you to Bruno Mars? As an artist and being able to, sing his song.
Bruno Mars, I was just always exposed to his music, you know what I mean? And when I was younger, I mean, I kind of drop a couple semitones, but like as I aged, but like when I was younger, I could hit those notes a lot better. And my voice kind of sounded similar to his. So I was always singing songs from him, and I went to a school in Caledon, Mayfield, and you got to audition to get into that school because it's an art school. And I actually sung one of his songs to get in. And yeah, ever since then, I was like, yeah, man, that's my guy. Like, that's my go-to cover guy. You know what I'm saying? Not so much these days, but I can still bust a little 1-2 note from him. You know? Mm.
He can. He can definitely do that. I think your first gig when we realized that you could sing was
I think
my brother's wedding. We had you that I think that was your first professional gig because we hired you. You came to his wedding and you sang Bruno Mars. I think it was Marry. What song was it? I think I wanna marry. Remember
was
that
it that
song?
one or was it the Voice to Men song?
I think you did a few at the wedding, but at my brother's wedding, our cousin, you sang that song, and then everybody then realized Christine can really sing. I'm gonna have to remember to address you as T Morza, but that was your first initial gig that kind of said, "All right, I'm gonna pursue this serious. Let's do some talent shows. Let's do some more things in the community, and really get out there." Who are some of your earlier, influencers that you would say really affected, your decision to get into music?
Well, obviously Bruno Mars for one, and Chris Brown too. Huge influence, huge influence. I used to sing a lot of his covers growing up too. Usher as well. A lot of R&B acts. Primarily those, to be honest, if I'm really thinking about it. But yeah.
They're some of the main ones. And you don't just sing alone. You rap as well.
Yeah.
You're quite verse. I like that you can switch it on with your singing and then you just break out into rap. And you write your own music, your own lyrics. Tell us about the writing. What goes into you just writing out your lyrics to produce a really good track?
I'm very keen on that side of things when it comes to my music because I feel like the songwriting element of songs is one of the most important parts because not only are you conveying a feeling through the sonics of the song, but through the lyrics you're telling a story or you're describing a narrative or you're teaching a lesson. And in every single one of my songs, there's always something to draw from, whether it be a story, whether it be a lesson, whether it be a tidbit of life. I always strive to like write something that the listener can take away something from and grow from, you know what I mean? It adds replay value. It adds some sentimental value for me, at least, you know. I take that part of my songwriting very, very seriously. Yeah.
Sure. Because you want to know who is listening, who are you touching, how will this make them feel, So I really like that you take that into consideration when releasing your music. How would you describe your sound to someone hearing you for the first time? Because as I said, you're quite versed. What would you say your sound is?
Well, these days I'm kind of touching on a lot of different types of sounds. So it's hard to say. If I were to say it in a word, I'd say smooth, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, like I get this compliment a lot where like people say that my vocals are very silky, very smooth, very like ooh la la, you know what I mean? So captivating, yeah. So like whenever people describe my music, it's hard to put a genre because these days I'm doing rap, I'm doing R&B, and recently I'm doing Afro beats and some reggaeton, especially this summer because I got some things coming out, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
There's a lot lined up for this summer. Look out, people, because it's interesting that you say Afro beats because you touched on that and you have a song out right now. The beat for that is crazy. Let the people know about that song.
So yeah, it's an Afrobeat song. It's actually coming out in 2 days, but by the time this is out, it's gonna be out. And we were talking about songwriting a second ago. It's about the story of the Sandman from Spider-Man. It's crazy. It's an Afrobeat song. If you just listen to it, you would have no idea it's about the Sandman. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's about like his arc in that movie. And basically it's about being misunderstood, being augmented by this thing called life, and you having to navigate the naysayers and the people looking at you differently, and how that puts a strain on your relationships and everything around that. And you just want to live your life free from problems, but problems still come. And I turned it up, on a little Afrobeat tune, you know what I'm saying? So I made it a fun listen with a serious topic.
And it's interesting that you explain what that song is about, because I would not have thought Sandman relation to that.
So random.
It is.
I was making the beat and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah.
And then I finished the beat, and then I just started chilling, and then I just threw on Netflix and I started watching the Spider-Man movie, and then boom, I just saw the Sandman, and I just noticed all those little things about his life. Because one thing that superhero movies do really well sometimes is kind of humanize the villain, you know what I'm saying? And they did exactly that for the Sandman. You know what I'm saying? Homie had like a girlfriend and a kid that he's just trying to support. He's doing wrong in order to do right by them, and then he gets turned into this Sandman creature, and he struggles to maintain those relationships, and he's like, you know what, let me use this power to like get some money for my kids. And he does that, but it just lands him in a whole lot of trouble, and it just ultimately leads to his downfall. And I kind of mentioned that in the song. So it's like, yeah, that's literally how it came to be. If I did not watch that movie after I made that beat, I don't know what that song would have been.
That is such a unique process, because that was going to my next question is, what's the creative process like? Like, do you start with a beat, lyrics, or a vibe? And you kind of just summarized that with you just saying, I was watching the show, kind of took a little bit from that, and then you then process that into beats, lyrics, and so forth. That's the process.
Sometimes it varies from project to project. Like if I'm working for someone and someone's commissioning me to make a song for them, it's more about them. If they already have a beat ready, then that's what I work off. Or if they want me to make a beat with them, then we do that. And then as we're creating the beat, I'm like, okay, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to embody with this? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to do? So it really varies. Like it starts from anywhere.
He is so creative. He is a man of many hats. You're not just a vocalist. You engineer like your own stuff, as you say. How does that change the way you approach music? Being from that aspect of being an engineer.
It makes you approach it a lot more critically, a lot more technically. As an engineer, there's a lot of things that you have to take into account when you're creating. Like you have to make sure the levels are good. You have to make sure the mic position's right. You got to make sure that you're editing out certain sounds. So since I'm already an engineer, before I even get into the recording process, I already know what things I should try and avoid so I can save myself some time. But it's a blessing and a curse, because now that I have all this technical knowledge, maybe I'm overthinking sometimes, maybe I'm being overly critical on simple things. But one thing that I'm learning as I grow throughout this musical journey of mine is just don't overthink it. Keep it simple, you know what I mean? Like if it sounds good, it sounds good. Yes, you could have all these technical approaches to making and creating, but like at the same time, if it's good, you don't gotta do too much, you know what I'm saying? Just make it sound good and have the confidence that it'll resonate, you know?
I love that. I really love that. You're very talented, very gifted, and looking forward to seeing What else you have? What else you have coming out? Um, you have had some hits, and can you talk about one song that really changed things for you or surprised you with its reception to the public?
Definitely trust somebody. Yeah, I think you might you might know that one still. Like everything from the sonics of it to the message to its reach. It's really one of my favorites right now. It's been played on the radio. I do it at every show. You know what I'm saying? People request it, and it's just a really wholesome message, and it's something that I'm really really proud of, and I'm trying to like follow up on. But yeah, it's a song called Trust Somebody, basically about letting people know that you trust them and the value of that. And simple message, yes, but it still needs to be said, still needs to be received. And yeah,
It's a powerful message. Powerful message. Trust somebody. It is one of my favorite songs, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do this to you. Just a little snippet of it, because the powerful message in that is nowadays it's so hard to find someone that you can trust, someone that you can rely on, someone who's always there for you. And you embody that so well in that song. So if it's just a verse or like a chorus, drop a little something them for the people. Something.
oh, let me clear my throat real quick. All right. If you ever trust somebody, never let them go. I don't use the L word lightly, just so you know. There's so many things, but everything is relative to how you think. So have a drink, relax, cause if you trust somebody, make sure you let them know. Yeah, that's the hook.
Sing. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. And one of your other songs that you have that's a really good one is Better Days. Is it Better Days?
Yes, Better Days.
Better Days is a really...
My auntie, she loves that one.
My mom loves that song, Better Days. We'll do a little snippet of that one as well as we go. But I find with Better Days, would you say it kind of connects to mental health?
Definitely. That whole song is about looking forward to the future in times when it's just looking bleak. You know what I mean? I made that song with my boy Sean, another talented singer from my area too. And it's exactly what it sounds like. We're singing about better days. We're looking forward to better days. And it's a very positive song, but it's not cheesy positive. You know what I mean? It's a type of positivity where like you can throw it on and you can get some motivation. You know, you can get some energy from it. That's the whole point of it. I think I succeeded with that task.
With my show, I just want my listeners to know that better days are literally coming. We'll get to that segment in a bit about good things are coming, but that song and Better Days and also Trust Somebody go hand in hand. You're really doing good. And again, these are songs that you wrote yourself. You take them very seriously and personable to your own life. So we're gonna have a little snippet of that one throughout. Can't just let him just a sing. So no, just have to listen as we go. What's the biggest challenge of being unsigned? Although you're such a good artist, you're currently not signed to like a big record label or anything, and what's the biggest freedom? So challenges of being unsigned and freedom.
I think one of the most obvious challenges is just the juggling of all the tasks you got to do.
Yeah.
Like when you're unsigned, you don't have like a massive team to delegate certain things to. You're your own marketer, you're your own publicist, you're your own show organizer. You're the one running your own social media. You're the one trying to plan in advance. You're the one trying to drop songs and give all the royalties to the right people. It is a lot. It is so much. I talk to a lot of people in a lot of peers in my field, and they're saying, yeah, it's a lot. It's easy to get burnt out, but better days are coming, you know what I'm saying? So you got to keep working, and you got to keep your head up. And the more you do all these things, the more efficient you get at it. So yeah, you just gotta keep working, and it gets easier. And
What's the biggest freedom though? Although you're unsigned there, what's the biggest freedom with like, well, I can do this, 'cause.
it's very liberating. A lot of times when you hear about record labels, you hear how controlling they are. So you don't have a record label breathing down your neck saying, "Oh, we want this sort of track. Oh, we want you to be this sort of artist. Oh, no, 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 no. You want to be this? No, no, no. But we want you to look like this." You know what I'm saying? So like, I can understand where they're coming from to a degree, because like they have a lot of money invested in you, but at the same time too, you're an artist. You have to express what you feel, and if they're trying to control that, that literally takes away from the artistry. So that's one freedom that I really love.
Touching back a little bit on your listeners, what do you want your listeners to feel or to take away after hearing your music?
I just want them to grow from my music. Like we said earlier, like I take my songwriting very, very seriously. So like if you're listening to one of my songs, I want my listeners to like look for messages, look for themes, look for lessons, because I promise you, if I'm dropping a track, it's not just for the sake of dropping a track. I'm dropping a track because there's something I want to talk about. There's a feeling I want to convey. There's a message that I want to deliver. And even with this Sandman track, it just sounds like a regular Afrobeat song. But if you think about it, the lyrics and what I'm saying and who it's based on, you could correlate those lessons that I'm saying into your own life. You know what I mean? So anything I drop, there's a lesson to be there. Yeah, yeah.
Anything. Let's touch a little bit on, again, the mental health side as an artist. Has there ever been any days, moments where you just feel to give up and just say, yeah, this is very hard. This is such a struggle. And if so, how did you pull yourself out of those moments?
Yeah, there's definitely times, like we said a second ago, like all the hats you got to wear as an unsigned artist. It's so easy to get burnt out. It's so easy to get demoralized. But literally through creating the art, you can recover. Like it's a means to express yourself, yes, but it's a means to release energy too. Exactly. Like I know so many times when I was like a little bit down and out, and then I would create a banger and be like, nah man, I gotta drop this. No, 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 I'm back in the saddle. Like, what? How am I gonna create a banger and then just like sit on it? Like what? No, 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 no. I was gonna retire and then I make this? Nah, man. Can't go on. Can't go on. So like, yeah, it's usually what I'm creating that like brings me out of the rut. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's so magical, you know?
Mm.
As you say, you're down, but you're using that tool to feel better. And in doing that, you realize not only do I feel better, but I gotta keep going. I have to keep going. I really, really love that. What keeps you grounded as you chase your dreams, as you go? What pulls T Morza back and just keeps you grounded?
Definitely the people around me. Sometimes, you achieve some really cool stuff, but you just got to realize that it's a means to an end, and nothing lasts forever except family, great people. Yeah, so that sort of stuff keeps me grounded. No matter what I achieve, I know where I came from, and that'll never change. Where you came from, your history leading up to wherever you come up to, is what is going to define you. So, you just got to give thanks to the people around you, the people who loved you before things started going crazy, and never forget that.
That's very, very powerful. What does success look like to you now And has that changed over the years? Because you're coming from, as you showed us your journey, what does it look like to you, and has it changed?
Success to me is just living full time off of my craft, comfortable. Like, wake up when I want, make some tunes, sell some songs. I don't know, go out. If I want to spend a little money, shoot, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be a great life. Like I don't want to be rich or anything per se. I just want to be comfortable enough to like live a happy life. You know what I mean? Like if I want to do things, I don't want any barriers to get in my way. You know what I mean? Simple.
That I think that is how success should look. Do what you want, wake up when you want. If you have the money, spend on what you want comfortably, taking care of those around you, and in the right style and fashion. So I really, really agree with you on that. How has our family, your family, especially the woman in your life, your mom, influence your drive?
It makes me like want to be in a position to protect. You know what I mean? Like I want to achieve success so that the people I really care about can be a little bit less stressed. And especially for my mom, you know what I'm saying? She's my everything, you know? So like if I can strike some gold and allow it to relieve some stress out of her life, shoot, I'm a happy man, you know what I mean? And same thing for the people in my life, like you know what I'm saying? Or like like a girlfriend or anybody who I care about in this life, you know what I'm saying? If I can facilitate some happiness for them, if I can provide some security for them, then that makes me happy. Your happiness is my happiness type energy.
I want to touch on a little bit more about your mom. You're growing up basically with a single mom,
Yeah.
and you touched on that word a while ago. It makes you want to protect, and that is so fitting because you and your mom together, and you've seen and gone through so much. What's your message to single moms out there today who are doing it? Your mom's doing it. You're a prime example of what it takes to do the work and to just be there. Your message to them, with maybe they're going through it with their own sons, especially raising a young man. It's hard to them, that you want to share.
I'd say stick with it. And also be proud that you're raising this human life on your ones, because as you know, it is not easy, but like if you raise them to my age, you can have such a sense of like accomplishment. You know what I mean? I think my mom is rather proud of me, and I think like it's such a gratifying feeling to see like a little baby grow up into like a big man, and know that you're responsible for that. And I think that's like better than a trophy, better than like any graduation, better than any prize. So just remember that's the goal, and it'll be worth it. Stick with it. You know what I'm saying? And they will love you for it.
What's a moment you're really proud of outside of music that you can share with us? Outside of music, a moment that T Morza is proud of. Like, I did that. That's all me. Yes.
Oh man, that's a good question. Outside of music, because like a lot of my big accomplishments are music. Shoot, nah, that one got me still. Outside of music, I would say traveling. It's weird to say that, but seeing the world has added so much more perspective, not only to my music, but also to my character, to me as a human being, and like I feel like the more places I go, the more grateful I am for what I have, and also the more appreciation I have for the planet. You know what I mean? So like I'm going to Colombia very soon. Yeah. So I'm just gonna add to the list of places that I've gone, and I just wanna like diversify myself. I don't wanna be like stuck in one perception of life, you know what I mean? Like I want to see what the rest of the world lives like, looks like, and what it's like to experience the world, because I think that adds a lot to a person as an individual, you know? Colombia. I call it Colombia to all my friends. Drop the CEO, just call it Colombia. Colombia, yo.
Tell us about that. Where is it, a show, or what made you decide on Colombia? Like just to travel, see that side, and
I actually have some friends down there.
nice.
So, they were living down here and they moved down there and they're raving about how much more relaxed of a lifestyle it is. Because you know how it is living in Canada, hustle bustle, get your bread or you're donezo. You know, that's the like feeling I get when I'm living here. You know what I mean? And they said they moved down there and it's a much more simple life, and I want to see what that is like. And also too, of course, if I'm going somewhere, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna try and make a music motive, you know what I'm saying? So like of course. So like some of my friends down there, or one friend in particular, one that I've known for a really long time, has some studio connects. So I'd love to create down there. So we're already planning it. I would like to do a show, but I don't really know those ends like that, so I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. But if it's safe and it really presents a cool opportunity, I'll look into it. You know, if you're seeing this while I'm down there, you know what I'm saying. You give T Morza a call. But yeah, Colombia.
Colombia, as he says. Colombia. Let's get into a little bit more fun, rapid fire questions to you. I just want to get a little bit more deep so our listeners know who T Morza is. As he says, he has a lot of shows lined up for this summer. He's going to be traveling. Listen to some of his tracks. But the top 3 songs on your playlist right now, besides your own, who are you listening to? Who are the top 3 you got going on?
Top 3 songs. Honestly, I'm listening to a decent amount of throwbacks right now. I'm listening, funny enough, to Bruno Mars yet again. What's that song called again? Grenade. That one's fun. I catch a grenade for ya. That one. With You by Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? It's something about that old school R&B sound that it's just nostalgic to me. I don't know. It's fun. And one more. What's another good one that I'm listening to? The Weeknd. I don't know if you know the song The Hills. It's a powerful song. Yeah.
Okay, those are top 3 you got.
Right now, it's always changing. Right now, I'm on like a little bit of a throwback flex, but you know, if you ask me a month from now, it's probably gonna be like, I don't know, some Afrobeat things right now, because like that's a lot of what I'm creating these days.
All right, so those are the top 3 songs he's got going on. Your dream collab, dead or alive, who you want to collab with? The artist could be alive or dead. What's your dream collab for T Morza looks like?
Like, yo, these are some serious questions, yo. Honestly, if we can resurrect MJ, we gotta make that happen. Yeah, absolutely. 1,000,000,000,000%. If we can get MJ moonwalking in a music video with me, bro, life complete. I retire. Are you crazy?
What's special with MJ that you wanted to have him be the one? I know Michael Jackson is the boss, but with you and your artistry, why did you select him?
Would it be weird for me to say that it's less so about whatever we make, but just being in the room with the dude, like creating with him. I think I could learn so much just from his artistry that I could really apply to myself. Um, that's primarily why I would really like to work with MJ. But of course, whatever we make is probably gonna be a banger. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, more so for the creative process.
That's a very interesting answer. It's not just because it's Michael Jackson, but just to learn from him and just do something great. If your life were a movie, what would the soundtrack sound like?
How did you decide that? Shoot, if my life was a movie, how would it sound like? Oh my gosh. See, my engineer brain is telling me to tell you all these technical things, but then I gotta think about like what actually sounds like English. I think, all right. So the beginning of the song when I was a little baby, nice and simple, a nice little piano, you know what I'm saying? And then as we age, as we touch 6, 7, 8, 9, we add a little bit of drums because I was starting to become a little bit rambunctious, you know what I mean? And then as we get a little older, we're touching the 12, 13, 14, the intensity of the drums would just increase. And I'd say genre-wise, we're talking about a little bit of R&B, you know what I mean? So if there was like some upbeat R&B, a little bit of cymbals coming in because I'm crashing out sometimes, you know what I mean? And then we reached the teen years, and yeah, this is when we hit a bit of a climax because I don't know. I think I could speak for most people when we say like our adolescences are probably some of our craziest years. You're doing the most, you're saying the most, you're living the most. So this is like the crescendo, and I'd say this is where we're like hip hop era, you know what I'm saying? Drums are smacking, we got a loud bass line drowning out everything. And then I'd say we'd have some more interesting, unique sounding elements as we age a little bit more because, I've been traveling, I've been doing a lot of things musically, growing as a human. So I think my sound would get a lot more sophisticated, a lot of instruments that you wouldn't normally hear because I like to experiment would be around this area. And then I guess this song's not complete yet because like I'm still breathing. So
Yeah. Oh, and I love that answer. You actually took us on a journey to how it sounds, and I guess that's the engineer side of
Shot sounds is a little bit of both, yeah. Yeah. English and engineer talk, you know what I'm saying?
I really, really love that because it shows the growth coming, the different instruments and how they apply to your life as an artist, the different emotions, the different things that you experience. I really like to see that transition of how you answer that.
Mm.
Craziest DM, a fan or a moment you've had? Experience.
Don't want to know that. I promise you don't want to know that. You don't want to know that. Yo, my craziest DM to this day was a crazy picture after a crazy sentence. I'm gonna summarize, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, keep it nice and PG. But I think after a show back in 2023, it was my first festival show, and there's this girl, I don't even remember what she looks like or what her name was, but she sent me a little message saying, "Oh my God, I love that song, Trust Somebody. Wow, like where can I find it? I'm just in love with that song, and I think I may be in love with you." And I was like, word, word, word. I'm saying, like, it happens, you know what I'm saying? I drop some E's, people like it happens. But then it got left, and she started like glazing like heavy about like how I look, how I dress, how I'm like not like anybody she's ever seen before. And it got a little much. So I kind of distanced myself, and a couple weeks later, I got a crazy photo. We're not gonna say what said photo is, but it just wasn't PG, and I'm a very PG man, so I had to respectfully like just get out. You know what I'm saying? But like wherever you are now, I hope you're living a good life. Hope everything's blessed with you, and don't be sending pictures like that to nobody else, no matter how much you are messing with them. You know what I'm saying? Mm.
Well, as simple as that sounds, it's a very powerful message that you're saying, you know, because in the world that you're in, music, that happens a lot,
Mm.
you know, with fans that just approach artists and just kind of see the wrong thing or do some things that make
Or
them
sometimes
feel uncomfortable. Yeah.
get a little cross. But it's fine to a degree because I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
It's just admiration at the end of the day. They're just trying to show you that they care, that they enjoy what you brought to them. So that's how I took it initially. But then, line got crossed.
Well, I think you handled it well. You didn't really, you know, say anything negative to them. You just kind of said, all right, I'm going to take myself out of this situation
Mm.
and keep it moving. With that, I want to touch on the next snippet of one of our other songs that really like is Better Days. To anyone struggling, going through a dark tunnel right now, better days are coming, and your song hits that message right on the head. Can you do a little snippet of that one for us, to our listeners?
It's been a while.
Let's say you don't know the lyrics, them no more.
It's been a while.
Or the chorus, or just a little snippet, whichever part of the song you remember.
Just the hook.
Yeah, the hook is fine. Let's just want a little synopsis of it. You see how far back he's going?
Yeah,
It's like a really good
I see you filming. I don't know if I can remember the lyrics right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's been that long, but it's a really good song. Like you can play it in the background. I don't know, like, but yeah.
Play Better Days for you guys because it's one of his earlier songs from way back. So we play that for you. We're gonna drop that one for you guys, but the message in that song, as a mental health advocate, I encourage people to listen to that song. Better days are coming, and better days is what we all strive for. If you weren't doing music, what would you be doing right now?
I'd be a pilot. I love the idea of flying. I love the lifestyle that it sounds like. Just the ability to travel and the ability to make money to do that is crazy. And I don't know, something about the status of saying, "Oh, I'm a pilot," so it sounds cool. I want to be able to say that. And I'm actually like working on getting that done. I do want to get my pilot's license. I'm just trying to figure out how to go about it. But yeah. So you might see Pilot Morza very soon.
Pilot Morza. Oh my gosh. And it's funny that you should say that. We actually will be speaking to a pilot on my podcast.
Really?
Just to
Who I think it
talk. I think you know him. You know him. We're going to be talking to him just to find out what that side of his life looks like, because as a black pilot, they're rare. You really don't see much black pilots. So aspire to do that. Don't just throw it on the back burner. Still work on doing it.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold
100%.
Hold you to that. Describe yourself in 3 words. Just 3 words. Give them to me.
Give 'em to me. I would say passionate, compassionate, and I'd say visionary. Those would be 3 words I'd use to describe myself.
All right, now finish the sentence. T Morza is unstoppable because ...
T Morza is unstoppable because he has an unrelenting drive to get where he wants to be. Period. I don't care if you're in my way, you're gonna get trampled up unless you move. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you got something to say. Oh, all of a sudden I got these earphones. I can just look at my ears. I can't hear you. What? What'd you say? Yeah. Oh, my leg broke up? All right, say less. We're living in 2025. We got some crazy, prosthetics that we could go on with. You know what I'm saying? Just that mentality that I have. Like, if there's a problem, there is a solution. And if there is not a solution, we'll find one or make one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like living in negative thoughts. I don't like keeping negative people around me. If you're not about the solution, if you're not about the prize, we can't mesh. You know what I mean? So that's just me.
And it's funny that you say that. Your circle of friends, how would you describe your circle of friends that you keep? Because as an artist, and as you say, you have to have positive people around you.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you? And do you have such a circle?
Let's say that I do. Sometimes people come and go, especially in the fast lifestyle of being an artist. You're always meeting people, you're always establishing connections. But one thing I've learned over the years is, like, not everybody is going to be there forever. You know what I mean? So I've gotten accustomed to not setting expectations when I meet people. Or when I go places. I just meet them and take it for what it is. See both sides of the interaction and possible future interactions, and not really dwell on what they're thinking or what they're doing, but like kind of just focus on myself. And I kind of judge friendships or treat friendships accordingly based on time. If I've known you for a long time, then we have that rapport for me to trust you. You know what I mean? But if I haven't known you for very long, I'm gonna be nice to you, but like, don't expect me to like jump off our bridge for you or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to it.
To that is exactly how friendships are, especially if you've known them from a long, long time. The connection and the loyalty is different. It hits differently.
Absolutely.
So for sure. You've done so many different shows. Which one is your favorite so far? Like, which concert or which event that you could say just stuck with you, or something that you worked on that you're like, that was the ultimate favorite for me?
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so many. One in particular that I like, that I always think about. It wasn't the most grandiose show, but this one, the one at the school board.
For Black History.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was just for everything for what it was. It just kind of made me appreciate what I'm doing. Also, just the amount of eyes and the stage. Like, I want to do those sort of shows like all the time. Like, hundreds of people watching, flashlights out, blinding me, you know what I'm saying? And nice big stage with space, a crowd has energy, dancing with you. Like, that ticked all my boxes for a good show. And that kind of like, when you have your low moments and your high moments, is one of the high moments that make you want to keep going. It's one of those. Yeah. And shout out Peel District School Board. If you ever need more shows, call out your boy. You know what I'm saying? Bare shout outs this episode. Just looking at you.
The show that he's talking about was Black History Month, and it was fitting to have him as a performer for Black History Month. I remember you performed and the students gave reviews to the organizer to say one of my favorite highlight was having T Morza, because your music, everybody was dancing. The kids got up, they were dancing. A few pulled you to the side. They were like asking you questions and things like that. So I would definitely agree with you on that, saying Black History Month, being a performer at the school was a big highlight, and to touch on that, what's one of your positive messages that you would give to upcoming artists that are looking to break into the industry right now?
Definitely. Oh, what I'm gonna say is gonna be very important. Okay. Um, Never take anything for granted. Okay. Appreciate every opportunity that comes your way. Appreciate any sort of help that can come your way. Appreciate the journey. You're not gonna be like busting out Chris Brown and MJ moves in your first year. That takes time, practice, repetition. One thing I learned while I was at Mayfield was I did this study on singing, and one thing that I learned was anybody can sing. I don't care if you think you sound like a dying cat. Good sir or ma'am, like if you practice, you will get to a better place, and that's just proven. That's research solidified. Yeah, 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 yeah. So if you wanna,
Wanted to sing.
yeah, yeah. So just practice. What's all simple.
I did this in one of my episodes where I said if there was one gift or one thing I wanted to learn right now was to sing. I always want to break out in song, but break out in song good, like sound proper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I seriously want to sing.
No, it's possible. I'm telling you it is. It's just a lot of practice. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's possible. And you need to apply that same mentality to being an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been touching on, like you got to do so much just to maintain the artistry. So if you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to stay humble as you go through this journey, you'll be fine. You'll definitely grow. You'll definitely expand. And that goes with learning how to sing too.
Hope for me. I will be able to learn to sing.
So you're first.
Now, what's one thing that you're working on next? What can we expect for T Morza? What's coming out? Any surprises? Any projects, collabs that you want to let the people?
Yeah, there's a couple collab songs coming out. I don't know when. Just gotta ask the artists. I have a music video I'm trying to plan for August. I have this song called Anna. It's gonna come out around Carabana weekend. That energy, you know what I mean? And I got 2 shows coming up. One at the Rose Theater in October. Looking forward to that. I've always wanted to do the Rose. That place is beautiful, big stage. Yeah. I'm trying to tear that one up. Yeah, that's what I got on the top of my head, at least. I know there's probably more, but that's what I can think of right now.
We're going to put all that information in our blurb so you guys can be able to follow and attend his shows and so forth. But honestly, you have a lot lined up. I want to hear another song before you go. Maybe drop a little bit of the Anna. Give us a little piece of the Anna.
Little Anna.
Just a little piece of that one.
Oh. Okay. All right. Just for you, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. She don't want a dancer, she's a romancer, sneaky like a panther. Don't let her catch ya. Oh, Anna, don't understand her, really trying to catch ya. I'm trying to match ya. Oh, Anna. Yeah, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That one's like a real bop. Like, if you're trying to dance, yeah. Yo. Don't get me amped for this release. Yo, this August, Carabana's not the only thing that's going to get your bumper whining still. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it PG, but that's all I'm going to say.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Looking forward to that dropping. That's definitely a upbeat, vibes tune. But as your cousin and just growing up with you, I have to say I'm proud of you. You've come a long way and you take your craft seriously. I've seen you behind the scenes. I've been to your shows. We've collabed on a few things together. Really, really proud of you.
Thank you.
You're doing really, really good. Keep going. And I've seen you in your dark moments and how you were able to come out of that. So definitely an inspiration, definitely encouragement. So keep going. The best is yet to come.
Thank you.
The best is yet to come. And this brings us to our favorite part of the show. Good things are coming. All right, so this is a part of the show where we leave a positive affirmation, where we say good things are coming. Whether you are going through a rough patch this week, it's a positive affirmation to hold on to and to just think that you're not alone. You can get through this. So I'm going to do one, good things are coming, and then you're going to do one, good things are coming, and then you just add an affirmation behind that.
Okay.
All right. All right. Good things are coming because your purpose is louder than the pressure. Yeah. All right.
I gotta go out that door because like you. Okay, so good things are coming because perspective is powerful. Like I said earlier in the podcast, it's good to stay positive, and a good thing to think about is seeing the glass half full in any scenario. You know what I'm saying? You need to maintain that positivity because, it's very easy to go down a rabbit hole. So if you have some water and it's half full, don't think about how empty the glass is. Think about how full the glass is. Period.
All right. And with that, thank you again for being here, sharing not just your music, but your mindset and your mission. You are truly the definition of unsigned and unstoppable. To everyone listening, whether you're building something from scratch, working in silence, or just trying to stay motivated, I see you. And it will get better. Make sure to follow T Morza and stream his latest tracks. All the links are in the show notes. And if this episode gave you life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay grounded, stay inspired, and never stop believing in what's possible. This is the Monie Podcast. Bye for now.